Welcome back to Phoenix English classes. Up to now, we read in this story that the writer William O. Douglas determined to learn swimming, and for that there was a club YMCA at Yakima River where he went to learn swimming. But soon after a few days, an accident had taken place when he was ducked into the water by a bruiser of a boy. And because he was all alone at the time, he was struggling for his life. Once he went into the deep pool, tried to come out but failed. Now we will continue the story from that very point. See the text. I fled at the surface of the water, swallowed and choked. I was not able to come out. My mouth did not come out of the surface of the water, only up to my nose I could come out when I tried for the first time, and the result was that there was a shout, but it did not go out, rather the water came inside. As soon as he was on the surface, his eyes were over the surface of the water. He thought that I have come out, and at the same moment he tried to shout to seek for help, to ask for help, but he was unable to throw his voice out of water because his mouth was still underwater. He only swallowed much water, and the result was very much horrible. Up to now he had already a good deposit of water in his lungs, which he had already swallowed up from his nostrils, and now from his mouth also he was swallowing the water of the pool. I tried to bring my legs up, but they hung as dead weights. Once again he tried. Still his senses were working. He was not hopeless at all, although terrified, yet not hopeless. He was not out of wit, and his mind was working, his brain was working, and he was struggling hard to save his life. He did not lose hope. He tried to flap his legs in the same manner as we swim. He tried to struggle with his feet, but the movement was such a one which brought another horror in his mind, that his feet were paralyzed, his legs were paralyzed. He was unable to move them. It seemed that they were too full of weight, they were very heavy, and he was unable to move his legs, paralyzed and rigid. It seemed to him that he was paralyzed. It seemed to him that he could not move his legs, his nerves do not control his legs, and he was paralyzed. The legs were full of weight. He tried, but the feet did not obey him. It became rigid, it became stiffened. A great force was pulling me under. When he was unable to move his feet to try to swim, he felt that he had become full of weight, he had become very heavy, and a force was pulling him from inside the water. He was once again drowning into the water. I screamed. Once again he tried to scream. He forgot that he was underwater, and his screaming would not help him either. It will worsen the effect. As soon as he would open the mouth, more water will come inside. He forgot it. He tried to scream once again, but only the water heard me. But there was nobody to hear him, because his voice could not reach the surface of the water, could not reach the air upside the pool. He was only speaking to water. There was water everywhere. His voice was heard only by water itself in which he was drowning, and the bottom of that pool was pulling him inside. I had started on the long journey back to the bottom of the pool. He said it a long journey, although it was only 9 feet deep. Yet it seemed to him as if it was too deep. A fathomless bottom was there, and he was once again on the journey from the surface to the bottom of that pool. Once again he was drowning into the pool. I struck at the water as I went down. It seemed to him that he was messed up with the water. As he was going inside, it seemed to him that he was being messed up. He was bungled into the water. He was messed up. Expending my strength as one in the nightmare fights an irresistible force. It seemed to him, as he describes, it seemed to him that I was helpless. You can feel the same thing, the same helplessness when you have a nightmare, when you have a very bad dream. You try to run, you try to escape from some danger, from some monster, from some witch, and you find that you cannot run at all. The body itself has become so heavy that you cannot move at all. It would be experienced by everybody. I think this is the experience of everybody whosoever has ever saw a nightmare, felt a nightmare. It happens in the nightmare, and the same thing was happening with him in reality. He tried to move his body, but the body was stiffened. He tried to move his legs. He wanted the movement of his legs and hands, but he could not. He was almost paralyzed, as we feel paralyzed when there is some nightmare going on, when we are drifting off to sleep or we are in a deep sleep. I had lost all my breath. This was the moment when I thought I was breathless. I was suffocated and choked. I could not breathe at all. How can you breathe when you are inside water? If you try to breathe, you are simply trying to get closer to your death. You cannot breathe in the water. You are not fish at all. My lungs ached. My head throbbed. The effect was really alarming now, full of danger and lots of terror. His lungs started aching because of the pressure of the water which he had swallowed through his nostrils, because every time he was trying to take breath, and every time he was inhaling more and more water in place of air, because he was not on the surface. If you are not on the surface and your head is inside the water, if you try to breathe, it means you are simply trying to breathe the water in place of air, and the result will be aching lungs. Your lungs will start aching. There was pain in his lungs, and his head started throbbing. When there is lots of deposit of liquid in your lungs, in your stomach, sure you are going to feel headache also. It will create headache. His head started throbbing with pain. I was getting dizzy, and now he was at the verge of fainting. He was at the verge of becoming unconscious. He felt dizzy. But I remembered this strategy. Although all this bad thing was happening, all these things that was against my survival was happening, yet my brain was still working. I was not completely out of my wits. I was not out of my brains. My strategy was still there, and I was thinking about my planning. How can I save myself from this danger? I would spring from the bottom of the pool and come like a cork to the surface. He had only a single planning. He had only a single strategy to come out of the water, and that was as soon as his feet could touch the surface of the bottom surface, he would try to summon his courage, his strength, and will try to leap up like a cork and will come out of the water. At least he could come out on the surface. I would lie flat on the water, strike out with my arms and thrust with my legs. But this time there was a little bit of change in his strategy. The strategy was like that. He thought that this time I will wait a bit more. I will not make a hurried effort. Rather, I would wait when my hands and feet are properly on the bottom of the pool. I will try to use my full strength to strike the bottom as hard as I could with my hands and feet, and this will give me a little bit or more of the thrust that is desired to come out of the water like a cork. I went down endlessly. Although this strategy was going on in his mind, yet the pool was too deep, or it seemed to him too deep. If you know you can swim, if you know how to swim, any depth will be lesser than you feel yourself unsafe. But if you don't know how to swim, any depth, even the smallest depth like 9 feet, if you don't know how to swim, it will be a very big and deep ocean for you, and it will be very difficult task you to come out. The difference lies there, and the writer was hardly a novice also. He did not know how to swim. He was there only for a few days to learn how to swim, and he was not a swimmer at all. He was less than a beginner. I went down endlessly. It seemed to me that the depth of the water is endless. So much time has passed and I did not reach the bottom. I opened my eyes, nothing but water with yellow glow, waiting for the bottom to touch, to arrive. He opened his eyes once again and tried to see what was around him, what was there, and he could see nothing else but yellow water, dark water that one could not see through, and it was so dark yellow that you cannot see through it. It was at that time almost opaque, untransparent. And then sheer stark terror seized me, terror that knows no understanding. And at that moment, a stark terror, stark means a white terror, a terror like death seized him. When you are terrified, you cannot understand anything, and that happens with the writer also. The boy could not understand anything because he had terror on his mind, and once you are terrified, you cannot understand anything, you cannot do anything, you cannot find a way, you cannot make anything out. Terror that knows no control, and this terror made him lose all his control over his body. Terror that no one can understand who has not experienced it. Only explanation of such kind of terror would not help anybody to understand what kind of a terror I had at that time and what impact I had of that terror. This terror can be understood only by those people who had ever undergone such a terror. If you did not experience drowning, you cannot understand what kind of a terror is there in drowning. It was shrieking underwater. I was shrieking underwater. I was crying underwater. I was shouting underwater. It was the shout of terror. I was paralyzed underwater. And my hopes, my plannings, my wits were leaving me now. and I was only panicked. I was paralyzed. My whole body refused to respond. My whole body refused to act on my nerves, on my orders. My body was not responding to my mind, my orders or my thoughts. Stiff, rigid with fear. And this stiffness, this rigidness was because of the fear, not because the situation was so worse or the damage was so much done to my body by swallowing water, by inhaling water, but it was because of the terror that I felt myself stiffened. The whole body was stiffened like wood, like stone, and I was full of fear. The body became rigid. Even the screams in my throat were frozen. I felt, I experienced that trying to scream from under the water was futile. It was not going outside the mouth. Whatever I tried to shout could not leave my mouth. It could not come out of my mouth. My throat was frozen. There was so much of water that was swallowed by him that his throat was completely choked and now it was frozen. He felt that it was cold, like there was frozen water inside the throat. Only my heart and the pounding in my head said that I was still alive. I was almost dead by that time. Yet my heart was beating and my head was throbbing. These two symptoms were still telling me that I was alive and my brain was working. There were only two organs that were working. One was the heart, it was still throbbing, and the other was his mind, his brain, that was still in pain and fear. It could feel that he was alive. The brain was feeling it. And then in the midst of the terror came a touch of reason. But in all such terrors, that now I am on the verge of dying, I am on the verge of sinking, I will die. And the terror of water that was so sound that I could not think anything, I could not understand anything, I could not speak or listen anything. Amidst all that negative thing, negative thoughts, negative things that were happening to him, one ray of hope came to his mind. His reason was still working, his mind was still working, and he thought, I must remember to jump when I hit the bottom. He thought that whatsoever depth was, but there will be a point, there will be a time when he would reach the bottom, and I don't have to forget, even if I am fully paralyzed, if I touch the bottom, I have to execute my plan of giving myself a thrust from all the might I have in my hands and my feet to come up on the surface. He was still thinking about his plan. He thought that he would hit the bottom to come out once again. At last I felt the tiles under me, and at last he was on the bottom. He felt that his feet struck against the bottom, against the tiles that were there on the bottom. My toes reached out as if to grab them. Once again he became fully conscious, because this was the chance of saving himself. And he planted his feet firmly on those tiles as if he was trying to grab the tiles with his feet. He wanted to firmly plant his feet on the bottom so that he may give his body as much thrust as was required to come out on the surface. I jumped with everything I had. I executed the plan very cleverly, with full might and with full precision. And I trusted myself with the full force and might that I had to come on the surface. But this time also it did not work, because he was inside the water, and he was trying to do the things that we can do out of the water when we are in the natural atmosphere of air. But the jump made no difference. Once again I made a leap. I leapt up, but it did not make any difference, as the previous leap was failed. It was a failure. The second attempt was also the same. The water was still around me. I could not come out of the water immediately as I had planned, as my strategy was telling me that as soon as you will jump up, you will come like a cork on the surface of the water. But it did not happen. He felt that the water was still around him. I looked for ropes, ladders, water wings, and he started using his hands so that he may find any rope if it was there. If he could find a rope, he would support himself on the rope and will try to drag out his head out of the water. But there was no rope, only water was there to clutch. There was no water wings, nothing was there in the pool that he can hold on him. Nothing but water. A mass of yellow water held me, and I was completely surrounded and held, enveloped by water that was yellow in hue, and this was the hue of death. Stark terror took an even deeper hold on me. Now the same stark terror, the same white terror was overpowering me like a great charge of electricity, and this time this terror was too deep, and it was giving the jitters like electric shocks. This was even worse than the previous one. I shook and trembled with fright. As soon as I felt this stark terror working like electricity on me, it means it was terrifying me up to the degree when the whole body, even the arms will not work after some time. I felt it because I felt the sparks were going on inside my body, everywhere in all the organs of my body. He was now trembling with terror. He was fully frightened. My arms would not move, my legs wouldn't move. I tried to call for help, to call for mother. Nothing happened. Now I felt my arms denied my orders. I could not move my arms. I could not move my legs. Whole body was paralyzed. And now, when he was almost in the lap of death, he remembered his mother. He cried for help. He wanted his mother there. When you are in great danger, certainly you call for help and start lamenting for your mother, and the same was happening to William O. Douglas at that time. And then, strangely, there was light. And as soon as he started calling for the mother, a strange thing happened. There was light. He felt that there was some light. It means he was coming out. I was coming out of the awful yellow water, and he recognized the place. He knew that he was very near to the surface. That awful yellow water was not too deep, was not too much around him that he could not come to the surface. There was light, it means he was nearing the surface. At least my eyes were. And as soon as he opened his eyes, he saw that his eyes were once again out of water. My nose was almost out too, and this time also his nose was out of water, but still the mouth was inside water. It means he could not speak anything, but he could breathe if there was any space inside his lungs, because lungs were already full of water. And then all effort ceased. This was the last thing that I noticed, and this was the last effort I made. All the effort ceased. I relaxed. He let his body go loose. Even my legs felt limp. It seemed to him then that there was no life in my feet, in my legs, and blackness swept over my brain. And this time another improvement. How can you say it improvement? The man is dying. The brain itself was being blackened. It seemed to him that the light inside the brain was also going off, and the brain was drowning into black. It wiped out fear. When it happened, when the brain itself was darkened, it seemed to him that everything had become vanished. Even the fear was not there. It wiped out terror. My terror was gone. There was no more panic. Now my fear was gone. It was quiet and peaceful. It seemed to me that all around there was peace and nothing else. There was peace all around. There was quietness all around. Nothing to be afraid of. I am not afraid. And there is nothing to be afraid. It means now he was dying. The pain has reached to the limit of feeling. It has crossed that limit of feeling, and now a formal feeling was coming to the brain and the body of the writer. This is nice to be drowsy, and he started feeling drowsy. Go to sleep. No need to jump. This time he did not have even the tiniest bit of thought that he had any kind of plan to try to jump. He need not try to jump. Everything is all right. It's nice to be carried gently. It was the feeling in his mind that he was going inside the water. He was drowning into the water, and it was full of calm and relief. He did not have any pain to float along in space. It seemed to him that he was not going underwater, but he was flying into the space, weightless. Up to now he felt himself heavy as lead, and now he was feeling himself too light, as if he was floating into the space. Tender arms around me, and this was the time when I felt that tender arms, soft arms had taken him into lap. Tender arms like mother's. It was like the mother's lap. It was like the mother's arms. Now I must go to sleep. And now he was safe, and he could sleep without making any effort to save his life, to save himself from the pool, to save himself from drowning. I crossed to oblivion, and the curtain of life fell. It seemed to me that there was a small light that was there inside the brain that was gone off. There was dark all around. I was peacefully sleeping. I forgot everything that was in life, and the curtain of my life was drawn. I felt that I was dead. So we will stop here, and for the rest part of the story, please be with me. Subscribe the channel. We will continue the story in next videos. Till then, keep studying and ask your questions if you have any. Ask your questions to my personal WhatsApp number. You can comment here also, and if you have any doubt, you can discuss it with me at any point of time.